school. Can you do it? I feel like it's a question that I get asked all the time. And I guess the main question is, what's your why? Why are you doing it? What's going to keep you motivated throughout that whole process? I'm going to give you some of my pros and cons of what I found in being a mom, a full-time employee, and a full-time student. But I just wanted to come on and give my perspective based on my experience of going back to school to get my master's degree. So being in grad school, I find some good things and some not so good things about being in school. So I'm going to share with you, and hopefully it encourages someone, or if you're on the fence about going back, the main thing that I would ask you is, what's your why? Like, what is the reason why you would like to go to school? What are you trying to accomplish? And what are you going to do when you're done? I think those are very important things to consider. I will be 35 this year. So for me to be getting my master's degree, it's never too late to get any degree. Let me just say that. But for me to be getting my master's degree now, I have a plan. And as honest and open I am and transparent with things with you guys, sometimes you have to keep your ideas and your plans to yourself until it's that right time. But the major that I'm going for is administration and human services. And I'm 2 months, like I said before, I'm 2 months away from being completed. I'm in my last two classes. Well, one of them will be starting at the end of this month. And according to the schedule, I don't have anything. So according to the schedule, I don't have anything planned for the month of November. Now, that could be a setup. That could be a really big assignment that the teacher is giving us time off to get that work done. Or it could be like, let y'all be great. But either way, I'm going to do what I have to do. So the benefit of going back for your master's degree, number one, is you can never stop learning. Like, I feel like no matter what age you are, what stage you are in your life, like, there's always something to know and to grow from. I have an associate's in early childhood education. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. And this is, again, a master's in administration of human services. So with that being said, I was able to wipe away my GPA from my bachelor's and associates. I was able to erase my GPH or start over once I got into the master's program. Oh, he was a little too close to my car. God forgive him. But I was able to start new. So in the master's program, you can't have anything less than a B. So I don't think they do anything as far as like cum laude or anything like that, because your master's is your master's. It's basically saying you know what you need to know in order to get whatever job or whatever field you're trying to pursue and work in. Another benefit is I attend school online. That's the only way that I've attended school in the past. When I graduated high school, I did try to go to school, and I was very irresponsible. It was before I had kids. It would be a nice day outside, and I'm like, about to turn into school. And I was just like, oh, it's a nice day out. Like, and I would turn around and go home because I didn't want to go. So getting my degree online has helped me, because then I don't have to make arrangements for my kids. I can go home. I can spend as much time, because I do work a full-time job. So I am able to help them with homework, check homework, sign whatever paperwork, and do my homework too. So they're seeing me, and they're a part of the process of me obtaining my degree as well. Something else that I enjoy about it is, before I used to be confined to the house. Like, this Saturday remind me of the sacrifices I made in getting my degree, because I was up from 6 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, and my assignment was not due until today. But I did get it done. And those are just like small sacrifices. But as my kids have gotten older, I don't feel like it's them that be wanting to get out and do stuff. I think that that's us, because my kids did not bother me at all. I was able to focus. I didn't have Taylor. She was with my aunt. It is flexible. Like, being online, it is very flexible. This past spring break of this year, I was able to take my computer on a cruise with me so I can still do things with my family as well as get my work done. Whereas if I had to attend school, one day of missing class can probably set you back. So I do like that portion. Now, as far as the opportunities, I would say that it is time consuming to be writing papers. It is a lot easier than what I've experienced in my bachelor's and my associates, because even with both of those, you have some prerequisites that you had to take in order to get your degree in those fields. But in getting my master's degree, I have been able to just focus strictly on that, on what I'm working on. So all of my papers are how I would apply or how I would handle a situation. So it's more getting you to think along those lines, which for me, I have been in banking for the past 16 years. I don't really have human service experience. Everything is considered human service when you're dealing with customers and consumers. However, it's a whole different field when you're dealing with politics, like people in the community, things of that nature. That's more of like what my passion is. So that aspect is a little different. Now, like I said, I have attended in classroom classes, but this was before I had my kids. And from what I've heard is when you do online, it's way more work than if you were to show up in a classroom. However, that's all I know. So that might be an opportunity for someone, but to me, that's a benefit. I don't mind writing. I'm actually starting a blog, which I have already started, but I haven't opened it up because it's more for like my own accountability, spiritual wise. So that's something that I'm working on that's going to require writing or whatever else I choose to put on there. So I'm already prepared for things like that. One thing I forgot to add to the benefit is there wasn't many tests and quiz. I feel like there might have been 3 classes altogether that I may have had tests and quizzes associated with it, but being online, I was able to use my notes and different textbooks that I got from the classes in order to get that done. Depending on where you work, your job may offer tuition reimbursement, so that is awesome. I know like at my job they give you up to $52.50 a year. So depending on what level you are, whether it's your associates, your bachelor's, or your master's, doctorates, or whatever, you may be able to get compensation from your job for going to school. Now with my job, it would have to be something work related, and even though what I'm going for is not necessarily found at my job, it is something that is one of the requirements. So I would not recommend you going just to get them to pay for school. So my why is because I just see myself as being super dedicated in whatever I do. I've given a company that I work for now 16 years. So if I can give that to a company, I can give that to myself to build and to be able to leave my kids something. So for me, that's my why. And when it came down to my kids, there hasn't been anything that God has put in me that I haven't been able to achieve for them. So I have this to be my 3rd degree, and I just really feel like when you have something that you're working towards, if you have that why, that's going to determine your drive. It's a marathon. You might not win in an hour. It may take you a couple years, but that's something that nobody can take away from you. And that's how I look at that.